Hey fellow vegans, it's Florian here. And today I'm interviewing Damian. Damian is an awesome fellow vegan who just lost 10.4 kilos and got an awesome vegan six-pack. But guess what? I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Damian, very nice to have you here. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. So how are you doing, Damian?
Thank you very much. I'm doing great, actually.
Cool.
Feeling fantastic.
Awesome. Same here. Same here. So, Damian, how long have you been vegan since? How many years?
A bit more than 3 years, but it was a slow start, a very gradual process over like 6, maybe even more months, and fully vegan since about 3 years.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's go back to the beginning of this journey, not of your vegan journey, but because the beginning of your fitness journey. So before you kind of met me and we decided to start working together, what were you doing with your health and fitness? What were the problems that you were having and what were the problems that you were looking to solve?
Yeah, I guess let me start like a bit more than a year ago, when the lockdown started, because that was kind of a very interesting point. That was kind of in shape. I mean, I wouldn't say in shape, but I was happy with my weight before the lockdown started. And then with the lockdown came a lot of, sedentary life. So I moved less, even though I tried to go out every day and have a walk, but it simply didn't cut it. And also we started cooking much more at home, which led to usually bigger meals. So what happened is during the lockdown, I gained about 7-8 kilos or so in body weight. And then beginning of the year, this year, 2021, I thought, that really can't be it. My old pants don't fit me anymore. I need to do something. And I was working out during the whole lockdown, like over the last couple of years, but let's say on and off, not very steady, using different methods, apps, whatever. And when this year started, I decided, okay, let's I really need to do something this time. It started off well, it was January. There was good New Year's resolutions. Weight dropped a bit, but after a couple of weeks, I was back in the same old treadmill of just not being able to pull through with it. And then my weight started to go up again, go down, and it was just, stabilizing there, and nothing really happened, even though I tried.
So I heard two things there with, problems with the pants. You felt like, oh, they're not fitting anymore. And then the weight is not really steady. It goes down, it goes up a bit. Were there other problems that you were having at this point or other frustrations maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's something I think we talked about in our very first call, right? I'm quite interested in the whole topic around health and fitness. So what happens is I kind of, start a workout routine because I read about this exercise would be nice, or, that regime would be nice. And then after 2 weeks, I feel like, I don't really feel progress. So I start Googling, read some other blogs, watch some YouTube videos. And then I just switch the whole thing around. And then, of course, you can't see any progress really because you're switching the system every 5 minutes. And yeah, once I realized, look, I'm really lacking kind of buy-in here. I'm lacking kind of a proper process and also freedom of mind with that, because I don't really want to constantly worry about am I doing the right thing or not. So that was when I decided to, get somebody external to help me with that.
That's the thing. It's not only like you're thinking about it or you feel like, oh, I'm not getting results. It's also like, okay, you're thinking about, oh, what should I improve? What should I improve on? So it was also kind of like outsourcing your thought process when it comes to health and fitness.
Yeah, I mean, it's even outsourcing very, because I was constantly in a state of thinking to myself, is the stuff I'm doing the right stuff for me in my current situation? So it's kind of always this second guessing my whole setup, which is kind of draining. It takes a lot of energy out of the day.
Mm-hmm. So you were touching base on the first call that we had there. So how did you stumble upon me, and how did it come to that first call? Tell me more about that.
I can't really remember how we got into touch in first place, but I know I was following you on LinkedIn, I think. And I saw a post of yours once in a while. And then, I thought, you know what, let's just reach out. see what this guy has to offer, what he has to say. And I didn't really, hope for much in that moment. I just thought, okay, can't hurt to talk for half an hour. And yeah, you made a really good impression. So I guess here we are.
Hope that the impression got sustained, but not just the first impression.
Yeah, I wouldn't be in this call, Florian, if it didn't.
So it's good to know. So kind of like what piqued your interest? When you saw the profile there.
Yours? Look, frankly, it's hard to say because, I was thinking of, okay, if I get a coach, what would I look for, right? And I tried to put together, at least in my head, some kind of criterias. In the end, it almost felt a bit overwhelming because there's a lot of people offering these kind of services in the world globally. And then I thought, okay, what's really the most important thing for me is probably somebody that puts veganism on the center of the system, or at least plant-based nutrition on the center of the system, because that I don't want to translate from fitness coach X that tells me eat that and that to whatever matches my preferences. So that was very important for me. Yeah, I guess the second thing was I just wanted somebody who, I think I can get along with. It's like, you see a whole lot of fitness coaches out there, especially in YouTube, that are really pretty full of themselves, which is something I'm not really fond of, frankly. So yeah, you made a really good impression, kind of down to earth. You had a very long track record, which was important for me because I didn't want to get a coach who, is just starting out. For me, I pay for your experience, so I want you to have that. And also, you didn't try to get on my balls and sell me stuff, which is also not, yeah. There's often a lot of people that really have a very salesy approach and try to kind of corner you somehow. You didn't do that at all. So it was me reaching out that kind of was something that felt right for me.
Okay, cool. So you reached out, we hopped on the call, it clicked. You took the leap of faith to start working together. So right now, a few months into the process, I think about 3 months, 4 months it is. So tell me, which kind of results have you seen in that time by working with me?
I guess first of all, I lost a bit more than 10 kilos, which is great, frankly, especially losing 10 kilos while I think my overall muscular volume improved. So in terms of fat, it's probably much more than that, which is really great for 3 months. I did not expect that, frankly. Remember me at the first call, I thought, okay, maybe let's lose 6 kilos in the first 3 months. And then at some point I realized, oh man, this is going much better than I expected. So that I have a very stable exercise routine right now, which I haven't had in the past. Just, a process I can stick to, a process that is really simple to follow, which takes a lot of, frustration out of it. I enjoy working out, which was not always the case in my life. And I really feel good overall. I think, just having a constant exercise practice gives your body a lot in terms of energy, in terms of just well-being. What's funny? A few weeks ago, I have this weight vest that I use for dips and pull-ups and so on. And then I coincidentally had 9 kilos in it because I used 9 kilos for making pull-ups on my bar here. So then I thought, man, this feels kind of heavy. And then I realized, wait, that's the weight I lost in the last couple of months. So it's kind of, if you compare it like that, it's a really heavy vest. And if you walk around, you can even feel in your legs that there's something pressing you down. So that's really good. In terms of workouts, lots of progress. I remember, but at the time we met, I checked how many pull-ups I can do. And it was around 4 in the first set. So, not great, but probably, average for a guy in the early 30s who's not trained. Right now I'm doing about 10 with 10 kilos of weight. So it's kind of massive progress there. And that's really nice to see if you progress constantly, gives you a lot of motivation.
Yeah, that's a significant progress. That's very well done, Damian. So now, like, we hopped on that first call, and then you took like, okay, I want to take the leap of faith. I want to get this dialed in. Now you're at this stage where you have, the six pack, lost 10 kilos of weight. And how did those aspects or those results, how did that improve other areas of your life? Did you saw some benefits when it comes to your confidence, to your self-esteem, to your work life? Tell me more about that.
It's a good question. I was asking myself that recently. I mean, for sure, it helped me to stabilize my morning routine. So I try to have a good morning routine, as in getting up early. Now also move. Before that, it was usually just taking a cold shower, then use some time to just read, plan my day, really getting into the right headspace. Yeah, as I said, now I also incorporated moving, so I work out usually in the mornings. The days I don't work out, I often stretch, so just get my body a bit going, which helped me a lot in that sense, to start the day right and with the right amount of energy. Other areas, I mean, it's hard to say, but I mean, you mentioned confidence. I think I wasn't the guy generally who's lacking confidence, but it doesn't hurt for sure. In terms of, I mean, what I think it does, it gives you something in your life that's kind of easy on the sidelines that gives you a good feeling of progress. Which is kind of, I'm a person, I like progress, I like learning. I get a bit bored when I'm stuck in the same place for too long, doing the same thing without actually seeing results for it. So in that sense, it's emotionally an important part of my life to just see, okay, there is this thing that I put energy in, but I get rewards. It's kind of, this put in work and reward cycle that works really well right now, which is good. And I mean, now that you mention it in terms of lifestyle overall, I mean, my overall decision making became much healthier or health oriented when it comes to all kinds of things. Because it's just like, if your headspace is on, okay, I need to get fit, you also think about, okay, maybe I need to make sure that I get enough sleep. I need to make sure, even if I'm counting calories, that, what I'm eating is good for me, it's healthy. So in that sense, also my skin improved a bit. I have less oily skin, for example, in my face. And also when it comes to other things like, I don't know, go out too late. I mean, I still do that occasionally, but I definitely don't do it as often. And if I do it much more consciously than before, because I know, okay, tomorrow I want to work out and I want to be fit.
It becomes a lifestyle over time. And like it makes it easier to sustain a healthy lifestyle if you're looking for like consistent progress in this area as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think like if we go back, let's say 3-4 months ago, and would tell Damian, look, the results are absolutely possible, or these are the results that you're going to achieve, would you have believed me at that time?
Not really. Not really. I mean, I've gone through a similar process once before in my life with a better starting point though. And also I was much younger. I was in my very early 20s back then. So I was like 21, 22, something like that. So I'm around 33 years old now. And I was actually very skeptical, in that age. I thought it will take much longer. Especially also since, I have an office job. There's a lot of external factors I can't really control for, like age and office work that didn't have back then. So I thought results will be slower than back in that day. They were actually faster now, which was quite amazing.
Good. So now, like, let's say a person is watching this interview right now, and like, who I really also want to have the results that Damian has achieved. And I also don't think, that those results will be possible for me, 100%. What would you tell that person, at that specific situations you were?
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it comes through just, crossing your fingers and hoping that, Florian knows his shit. And if he says it's possible, he's probably seen that before, and then putting in the work. We spoke about this a lot, but at the end of the day, you won't get from A to B without putting in the work. That's just, I think, something you need to be aware of. It's a good thing, right? You can do it, but and you will see progress, but you need to do the work. And as long as you do that, I think there's a lot people can achieve, in at least when it comes to fitness, if they're really willing to do it.
Absolutely. And this is absolutely not a quick fix. We don't give, magic pills out here at fitweeks.com. That would not be legal.
Yeah, that's what you look for. Like, everybody's looking for this, next kind of special supplement or this one exercise that will fix it all. And at the end of the day, it's also something I really liked about us working together. It's just being aware that, you need to go through this process. It's absolutely possible. It's not even that hard. And it's a very simple process. I work out, 3 times a week for about 40 minutes. It's doable, right? I never go hungry, since we're smart about what we eat or what I eat. And then it's just about, being aware that it's a process. It will take time, but you'll get there for sure.
Awesome. So what would be like the number one piece of advice you would give that person who's like, same situation as you were before?
Despite call Florian, you mean? It's a good question. Yeah, I really think number one advice for me would be just define a process and stick to it. Stop prioritizing events before you prioritize process. I think it's as simple as that.
Tell us a little bit more about that. What do you mean? Like finding a process that the person can stick to, or like what specifically do you mean by that?
Yeah, find a system in terms of how you work out, how you eat, and then just stick to it for a while. Because for me, an important part of this process was to see results. Like what I mentioned with the push-ups before, or what I mentioned with weight dropping. It's like you need to stick to it for a couple of days to see that. You don't see it on day 1, you don't see it on day 10, but you see it on day 20. And then once you see it, it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling or positive cycle. It's some positive reinforcement, and it keeps you on track. But this first step, until you see it, I think you just need to trust that it's going to go in the right direction. I mean, there's so many variables, like even just, what's your daily form, how much body water do you currently have, like water retention. There's so many factors you can't really control for, and that skew the results that you see. In that sense, you just need to give it a bit more time.
Yeah, and I think over time you get into this positive feedback loop. I think that's what you're touching base upon. Like the thing is about health and fitness, it actually gets easier over time because the habits are built. You see the process, you see the progress over time, and you trust the process more because you see, okay, look, it's working.
Yeah, exactly. And then once you see results, it's pretty exciting. So, the first time I realized, oh shit, I lost like 4 kilos. It's like, and it wasn't even that hard. Mm-hmm. I kind of, you get very excited about the next 4, but you need to do the first step and then to get into this. It's the same thing that, there's this kind of, I don't know how the saying exactly goes, but basically work doesn't follow passion, but passion follows work, something like that.
Yeah.
I guess you need to get into it first, and then once you're into it, it really gets easier and easier by the day.
I think that is absolutely spot on, because a lot of people that think that, health and fitness or healthy eating is not for them, maybe have not seen the results. If they would see the results, they probably would be more into healthy eating or exercise on a regular basis, because, it kind of follows it and not the other way around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Damian, awesome. This is the end of my questions, or all the questions that I have for you. Do you have some specific questions, or maybe a thought or something that you would like to touch base upon in this interview?
Frankly, not really. Look, and I'm not getting paid for this. I'm super happy I joined the program because I don't know if I've said it before, but I say it again. It really took a lot of friction out of reaching my goals, and yeah, I'm really happy. In that sense, I'll definitely continue working out and watching my diet. So looking forward to what's possible to achieve else, even with 33.
Yeah, look, and you have a few months left. Gonna be like having an even more amazing transformation at the end of the full period there. So, Damian, I know you're a busy guy, so thank you so much for taking the time today for this interview. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. You did an amazing job. And for all the guys and gals that are watching this, thank you for your time as well. And we see you all next time in the next interview or, in the call potentially. So have a great day. Bye-bye.